I have this little figure, which I made using this silicone mold in JAZZA'S, not another crap kit. This kit is full of amazing goodness, which I actually unboxed on this channel. FYI, I recorded this video live, which I'm doing every month now. But before we get started, I think I need a little help from the master herself.
I'm so excited to see what you're going to do. There was one character that I really wanted to put together. It's a centaur.
I'm gonna make a chibi centaur. Thanks, Jackie.
Thank you again, and thank you everyone for the support.
I'm making two characters. One generated by the Arty Games app. I'm gonna make a slime monster that is obsessively into technology who is wearing an ancient glowing necklace. And I'm gonna start making a centaur. Starting off by casting the bottom half. Oh my God. That is over there setting. Let's get started on our slime monster. Now, I wanted to finish this one entirely in stream, which means I needed to work with materials that would harden and cure in time for me to paint it in time. The little tubs of epoxy sculpt were perfect because that's sort of a two-part mix whereby folding them together repeatedly, you get a compound that's going to harden in the course of an hour or two. I haven't worked with this particular brand before, but it felt very much like working with Milliput, and I know that Milliput could be softened with water, and so could this stuff, which is amazing because I sculpted on these little blobs that I smoothed out, and to make them look like the character is dripping, I just simply wet my fingers and sort of smoothed the transition between the putty and the sculpture, slowly putting together a sculpt of a melting goo monster. We needed this guy to be tech obsessed and to have a special amulet. For tech obsessed, I actually put it to the stream chat. My community members gave me a whole bunch of suggestions, which I put to a vote, and they voted on VR headset and glove to be the tech things that this guy is wearing that made him tech obsessed. So I sculpted that on him, gave him little headphones as part of the headset, sculpted a little necklace that I could hang a medallion from later, and then added that final drip to his hand to hit that goo home. So I did this first so I could set it aside to dry so I can come back and paint it later in the stream. In the meantime, it's time to start on something a little more dramatic. I'm gonna make a centaur, but this is gonna require significant modification. I'm gonna go get drilly cutty things. I really hope I don't injure myself. No, I'm just kidding. Now to make Jackie's dreams come true by sculpting a centaur. Starting off by chopping up a half body so that I could reasonably merge it with a full body, but I was met with a couple of challenges up front. The most sculpting material I had is the polymer clay. And of course I could have pulled this whole thing off with the polymer clay, but I had a live audience watching me, and to knead it to make it workable and then bake it when I don't have an oven wasn't realistic in the time and with the materials I had. Given the restraints I'd put myself under, I went and just grabbed a packet of Milliput, which basically worked very similarly to that epoxy sculpt I used earlier. And before putting that on, I needed to create the armature. Now, Jackie pointed out the holes on the back of the figure were to put armature wire into if you wanted to make wings or a tail. This, it turns out, was perfect to connect the two pieces because both had a hole on their butt area, and by flipping the half leg body thing around, I could connect the butt to the other butt and have an asymmetrical layout of legs and then wrap some tin foil in the middle. Voila, armature via a butt-to-butt connection. And so with the connection of the body done and I guess you could say the blocking of a centaur physique in place, it was time to add our wizardly details. Wizard because that's what chat chose it to be. Again, I took a whole bunch of suggestions from my community chat and put as many of their favorite suggestions into my sculpture as possible. From a staff to a hat, beard and a cloak, a shield, a whole bunch of stuff that I spent a couple of hours hanging out with the chat, sculpting and really getting lost in it. I'm gonna pause here because I want to do more sculpting on it. I'm gonna wait till it fully cures and come back another day so I can hold it and do a lot more of the details. Now the benefit of doing this live is his entire design and persona, as I mentioned in the voiceover, is put together with Stream Chat's help, including his name, which we've just decided is Gideon Saddleshanks. So I'm gonna finish Gideon a little bit later, but while I'm wrapping up the stream, I only have 40 minutes space left on that card, and I'm gonna use that to paint this guy. Oh my God, look! How good is that? First of all, I loved that the box included a metallic green paint, and it just looked so good with a couple of coats. Then I went through and painted the rest of the props before coming back for the finishing touch. I added resin over all of the goo surfaces of my character, and section by section hardened it with the UV torch. I really hoped that this would work, and my God, it did. It gave it this sort of candy apple look that made it look wet but shiny and really, really nice. Last but certainly not least, I added little finishing touches of detail and then finished off with the necklace, where I mixed a bunch of that shiny rainbow alcohol ink that I love so much and a couple of drops of colored alcohol ink from my collection with the UV resin, UV cured it in seconds and added it as a gorgeous gem to my adorable little tech-obsessed goo monster. Jackie has been around for the whole stream. She's on a call with me so I can reveal to her as well as you our little slime monster. How cool!
Oh my God, like the techniques you've used are things I did not even think about. The first thing is I never thought of using epoxy clay for the entire thing. That is clever, because I would have had to stop the stream and then do another day for the clay. I was like, this guy's brilliant.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sending me the box and putting it all together. You're amazing.
Thank you so much, Jazza.
Okay, what an amazing stream. Just a heads up, if you missed the stream, I'm going to be doing these first Friday of every month, and I will be reposting the full stream link unlisted to everyone who is a community member. You can become a member by clicking join next to the subscribe button. They voted on me doing an Arty Games app generation and an epic sculpture, which I'm gonna piece together next. It was really fun to wrap up and make something from start to finish in the stream that I'm super proud of, and it's gonna be even more fun to spend some time on and really polish and craft this little centaur wizard that I'm really excited to sink my teeth into. And if you're into video production, and whether you like to hack things together and get a result quickly or really craft a production you're happy with, Blackmagic Design is your company. From editing and Resolve, which we use for every single one of our channels, the free version will have you covered up to the most professional degree. And if you're starting to learn to edit, they've got the cut page, which is really approachable for your first vlogs or streams, all the way up to the edit and the color grading and the special effects, everything as part of their whole suite. Again, totally free. And if you're looking for studio cameras or streaming hardware, you really can't do better than Blackmagic Design. I say this proudly as they're a sponsor, but I also say this outside of sponsored videos to my colleagues. So go check it out, the link's in the description. And a huge thank you to Blackmagic Design for sponsoring this video and making this stream possible. It's so cool to be streaming again, and it's so much better at this level of quality and production that they offer. So I came back another day to finish up Mr. Gideon Saddleshanks. While for the first one I stuck to everything that was in the box, this one went around the edges a little bit, but not in any crazy way. Just a color spray paint base coat and the Miller part basically. But honestly, everything that was included was incredible. I mean, look at this metallic purple. It could not look more wizardly and mystical. I friggin' love it. funny thing is, the painting process is super fast now that the figure's fully sculpted, but the really enjoyable part is the further in I get and the smaller the details are that I'm working on, the bigger the change feels to the model. Obviously I painted the most surface areas from the beginning, but it's actually towards the end when you add little finishing touches like colour to the straps or painting in some of the texture in the mustache. But most of all, it was the resin highlights that really made this magic. Mixing in just a little bit of alcohol ink with each to keep that translucency, because acrylic paints mixed in with the resin makes it look a little bit too opaque and cloudy, which I actually used to my advantage with the gem that would go on top of his staff, using one tiny little drop of white paint but barely mixing it through, so it had these opaque streaks and sort of swirls throughout the crystal. Last but not least, the final details, the little beady eyes and gluing the crystal onto the end of the staff added the touch of character and detail that really brought Gideon's saddle shanks to life. Wow, that was a lot of fun. Whoa. Hey, Gideon. Sorry, guys. He was trying to cast a spell to force you to like this video and hit subscribe, but that's not how we do it around here. I like to earn your respect and love and admiration. Honestly, guys, this was so much fun. I really hope you had as much fun as I did. Let me know in the comments what you think and what I should make in future, but in the meantime, you can check out Jackie's box, links in the description. Not sponsored, she's just an amazing person and it's a great box. That is it for now. Thank you for watching, and until next time. Alright, you can cast the see you later spell.